Lauren McFarland. Welcome to the Martha Monday edition of Cross My Heart Ministry. I'm here today to introduce our monthly do-it list. This is the one for November, which is fast approaching. And if you watched last week's video, we'll put the link to it below as well. You can also find the link for our monthly Write the Word bookmark. You'll notice that Beth, our graphic designer, does a great job making sure these coordinate. And for November, they have a lovely harvest fall theme. The word for the month of November is harvest, and so if you jump in and write the word with us, every single verse for the month of November includes that word harvest, and we do feature one of the words from the bookmark on our do-it list. Now, if you're not familiar with the do-it list, it is just a quick and easy way. It's a great resource to keep home and hearth tidy and to keep it clean. And so we designed this to be all in one page. We don't need a big, huge 3-ring binder with multiple lists to make it complicated. We have daily tasks, weekly tasks, and monthly tasks. And so we just try to make it simple for you. This is not intended to be legalistic. This is not intended to bring guilt and shame. It's simply a tool to help you begin wherever you are and jump in to managing your household. This was birthed from years of me feeling just that. A lot of guilt and shame, a lot of panic when the doorbell would ring. And so here you go. This is just a method from my years of experience on how you can keep your home manageable. And so this is hopefully just going to be a tool that you can use, not a club to beat you up with. And so what we want to do is just give you a method that we hope might work for you. You know, back in the old days, our mothers may have had a cleaning day, and Tuesday was cleaning day, or Thursday was cleaning day, and they got up that day and they did laundry and they did dusting and vacuuming and they did all that stuff. Well, ladies, if Thursday were cleaning day at my house, I probably wouldn't even want to get out of bed on Thursday. And so what we try to do is just give you a little bit to do each day. And as you just begin to get into that rhythm of checking a couple of things off each day, you'll just find that over the course of just a matter of days or a couple of weeks, your home begins to be transformed. And you begin to experience the peace and joy of really enjoying your home. And you don't have to feel embarrassed or ashamed if someone knocks on the door unexpectedly. You don't have to let your clutter or your dust condemn you or shame you. You're just going to get into that rhythm. We may have to die to having everything done at once, and I'm totally okay with that. It just needs to have a certain level of comfort for me to be able to think, enjoy, get up in the morning and enjoy my quiet time without having everything. I feel like I'm being judged if I've got last night's dishes that I didn't deal with. I don't want to get up one day and feel like I'm doing the work that I should have done yesterday. Having a clean house is not the end all. It is intended to allow you to reap the benefits of feeling like you're being a good steward of what you have, not to be perfect, but just to be manageable. So what I do each month when we present the new do-it list for the new month is I choose one of the items on one of these lists, either the daily, weekly, or monthly list, and then I unpack that a little bit to give you some ideas of what that could look like. And so for the month of November, we have dropped in on the monthly list an item that you only see during the month of November, and that is linen inventory. And you may be thinking to yourself, if you printed this, what in the world is she talking about? What does she mean when she says linen inventory? Well, I'm glad you asked, because just like our clothing and our wears out, our sheets and towels also may get to the point that they wear a little thin, literally. And so I've even got my visuals today. I pulled out some sheets and towels to give you an idea of what I'm going to be talking about today. This item was strategically added to the month of November to have us prepared to take advantage of those Black Friday sales, or at least have our list ready for the January white sales, because the holidays are coming. It's fixing to get very busy. And so this is the time to make that list, hopefully early in November, instead of pushing off this monthly task until the end when the holidays are really upon us. And so first of all, I want to present a couple of questions that will help you as you prepare to make your linen list taking that inventory, first of all, before we make a list of what we need to buy, we need to take inventory of what we actually have. So these are the questions to ask yourself. I want to invite you to go to your linen closet or go to the drawer where you keep your linens and just bring everything out. Pile it all up on your kitchen table or on your living room floor or what have you, because we're going to take a linen inventory. And so number one, you need to ask yourself, do you have a complete set? Somehow those mismatched pillowcases just seem to accumulate in our linen closet or in a drawer someplace, and they get wadded up or pushed to the back. They just take up valuable space, and they make it difficult to have everything else lined up and be in there neat, and make it hard for us to find the linens that we really do need. So first of all, ask yourself, do you have any incomplete sets? If you've got a twin bed, is there a sheet and a top sheet and a pillowcase? If you've got a double or a queen bed or a king, are all the sheets there? Do you have the fitted sheet and the top sheet and the two pillowcases if that's what you have? If you've got towels, is there a complete towel set? Do you have a bath towel, a hand towel, and a washcloth if that's important to you? Number two, do any of these linens have holes or stains, or are they just looking like they're ready to retire? Now, answering this question is going to take some time. You can't just look at a pile of sheets and answer that question. You're going to have to unfold it, maybe hold it up to the light. You're going to have to examine it to see if there are places that are stained or are threadbare or just look like they've ripped a little bit. Over time, our sheets are going to get worn out. Now, this will take some time, but you're only doing it once a year. We're only doing linen inventory once a year in our do a list. So go ahead and do this job well, because we want you to have a good inventory when we're finished. Number three, have the children outgrown any of the linens? You know, your 14-year-old may no longer want to sleep on Minnie Mouse sheets, no matter how nostalgic and how warm it makes mom feel to look at those Minnie Mouse sheets. It may be time to just let them go and let a 4-year-old enjoy those sheets instead of your 14-year-old having them put upon her. Number four, how many extra sheet sets do you really need? Maybe when you take inventory, you realize, oh my goodness, I have 4 sets of double sheets, and we've changed out through the years, and we only have 1 double bed in our home. We don't need 4 sets of double sheets. We have queen beds or twin beds or what have you. So you may be surprised at what you have when you actually start taking inventory. Number 5, do we typically run out of hand towels or washcloths before we run out of bath towels? So that's a good question to ask yourself. So as you take this inventory of what you have, how many bath towels, how many hand towels, how many washcloths, how many sheets for each type of bed, then you're poised and ready to sort of make a list of what you might need. The stuff that you just don't feel like you're going to use or you don't need to keep anymore, it's off in a different pile. The stuff you're keeping is off in this pile, and then you're getting ready to make your list of what you might need to invest in. After taking inventory of what you already have, only then are you ready to make a list of what you actually need. And so now, a couple of more things to consider as you start making that list of what you need. Number 1, now, I have not done this, but I have friends that have, and it might make sense for you, so I'm going to throw this question out there. Would it make sense to just invest in all white sheets, white sheet sets, white pillowcases, white top sheets, white fitted sheets, because then they're easy to change out on different beds if they're the same size, and it's easy to bleach out any stains that may present themselves. This is the reason that hotels typically have white sheets on their beds in their hotels. And so maybe that's an idea that would work for you. Again, full disclosure, it's not what we do at our house, but it might be an idea that could work for you. Number 2, do your children have a preference, or are you going to ask them if they have a preference? Sometimes we pick our battles as moms. We honor them by letting them maybe decide what they want, how they want to decorate the room, but when it gets all the way down to sheet selection, you'll have to make that decision. I'm just throwing it out there as something to consider. Number 3, paying more for a higher thread count might not only feel more luxurious, but it might make more economic sense in the long run. A higher thread count is probably going to last a whole lot longer. Once you've enjoyed sleeping on a higher thread count sheet, it's just difficult to go back to that other scratchy stuff. We stayed in a hotel recently and the sheets were so scratchy and so awful. I almost didn't even enjoy the luxury of staying in a hotel because the sheets were so very bad. So pay attention to that thread count. Another item to consider that you may have not even thought of, or you've never heard these terms from the linen world, but fiber, weave, and finish are 3 items that you might want to educate yourself on. I'd not heard of that before, but as I was doing research on linens, I came across this article. I'm going to post the link below from Real Simple. You can follow that from the show notes to read this article. And so you just might want to see if there's any information there that would help you as you make your linen decisions. Fiber, weave, and finish. So something to consider. And number 5, consider purchasing 2 to 3 hand towels or washcloths for every 1 bath towel that you purchase. If your home is like mine, you just tend to go through, especially those hand towels, way more frequently than you do a bath towel. So if you're buying those and you want them to match, you might just want to consider adding 2 or 3 hand towels to your to-buy list for linens when you're making that Black Friday purchase. So after taking all your linen inventory, after making your list of, it helps you decide what you need, but then it's time also to put all of your linens back on the shelf or back on the drawer. And so you just want to be sure that you fold things up neatly. Maybe you have just never really learned how to fold a bed sheet and they just sort of get a little wadded up and they just never go in there nice and neat. Got another video for you. This one is from HGTV. And for all of us, and I think that's probably most of us that are visual learners, this is a quick video. It might be helpful to you, or you might want to share it with your children that you're training how to manage a home. And so just get everybody on the same page on educating everyone on how to fold a bed sheet. So that link is below too. So we've taken our inventory of what we have. We've set aside what we don't need. We've decided what we're going to keep. We're going to fold it all up neatly and put it in the linen closet or in the drawer. And now we've got this pile left on the floor or on the table of the culled linens, the ones that are going to need to go somewhere. So if you've got a set and they've got a lot of good life in them and they're perfectly okay and someone else can benefit from those, then consider donating them to the Salvation Army or Goodwill, or if your church has a compassion center like ours, someone would probably be grateful to have a set of sheets. So the ones that are in good enough shape to be given away, do that, make that happen. The rest of them that are still have fabric that's good enough to be used, well, maybe you're going to cut those up and they can be used for cleaning rags or dusting rags or to wash the car. And so maybe that's a good use to sort of recycle some of these for another purpose around your home. And then there's probably going to be some that were just shoved to the back of the linen closet that just need to be thrown away. And so do that. Don't leave them piled up and let them get stuck in the back of a closet someplace. Just go ahead and get them on out of your house right now. So with your inventory all complete and your linen closet all nice and tidy, you're ready to scour those Black Friday ads, or at least have your list ready for the white sale ads, the January white sale ads, even if you're not going to make your purchase until after the first of the year. But the great thing is, if you've got your list ready, you know what you need. You're not going to be tempted to overbuy just because it's a great deal. I have been there. Oh my goodness, I've told myself, this is a great deal for a set of sheets. Look at this thread count. I'm not sure what I need, but let me just go ahead and buy it, because you can always use sheets. And I've wasted money, not wasted it, because I guess we eventually would use those sheets, or I would gift them to someone. But we just want to be careful about spending money that we don't need to spend. And by doing the inventory in advance, you're going to be prepared. You're not going to buy something that you do not need, and you are going to be ready to purchase what you do need. Sheets and towels have become very expensive, like everything else. So this will be a good decision to go ahead and take this inventory in advance, a blessing to your family's budget. Now, if you find a good deal in an ad and it's a brand that you're not familiar with, I want to caution you to go ahead and take advantage of one of the benefits that comes from the internet, and that is to check out those online reviews. Sometimes what sounds like a good deal really isn't such a great deal. So go ahead and read those reviews. If you're brand loyal and there's always a brand that you can count on for quality, then go with that. But if you see a good deal, be sure and check out the review if it's a brand that is unfamiliar to you. Well, ladies, you know you're a mom. You know you're a mom when opening up a linen closet and seeing all your sheets and towels lined up and nice and neat and organized just brings such joy. We just get that lovely feeling of, look how great this looks. And I have been known, after organizing not just a linen closet, but a junk drawer or whatever, just to go back occasionally the next couple of days and just open up that door or pull out that drawer. It just brings me some joy to see that I've done something that's going to stay done for more than a pair of minutes. And so if you're like me, getting this kind of a project done just makes your heart happy. Obviously, the thing that makes most of our heart happy is Jesus Christ. He is the ultimate source of real peace and joy. But while we live on this world and we have all these responsibilities that are our jobs, I hope and pray that our do-it list will help you keep your home nice and tidy and organized. And if you've never given this a try, what a great month to do it. We've got the holidays about to come up on us. We may have a neighbor knocking on the door to drop off pumpkin bread in November or Christmas cookies in December. And we don't have to be embarrassed or ashamed. We can throw open the door because we've been chipping away at all those little items on our do-it list day by day. And we can just welcome people into our home, knowing it's not perfect, but knowing that it's also being managed. We don't have to be perfect, but we do want to be good stewards what the Lord has given to us. Now, when you follow the link below to download your copy of the Do-It List, you'll notice that there's a second link for a blank version. And so we just want to make that available to you each month as well. You don't have to use my list. I have put these together based upon my life, but if you want to create your own complete list that's tailored to your home and your family, then download that blank version and create your own daily and weekly and monthly tasks. I went over to a church in Oklahoma several years ago and presented some teaching on both my Write the Word bookmark and my Do-It List. I think we called it Mary Heart, Martha Home. And I met a woman, a mom, who downloads the Do-It List for herself, but then she downloads a blank version for all of her children. Each of her children get their own blank version, and then she fills in their chore list, and she tailors that to the 4-year-old, the 8-year-old, the 10-year-old, the 12-year-old, the ages of her children. They each have a chore list, and she uses that Do-It List to make that happen. And I thought, what a fabulous idea. I just love that. So if you still have children at home, maybe that is an idea that would work for you and your family as well. Now, November is almost upon us. The holidays are closing in fast. So I pray that you will get with it, and let's do it, ladies. For Cross My Heart Ministry, I'm Laura McFarland. Thanks for spending part of your day with us.